Welcome to GU in Lillehammer, Norway. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn about our newest design, Redal. I'm Anita Tønnesen. I've been with GU since 2007, working in international sales. And here with me, the talented and prize-winning designer, Ragnhild Nordhagen. She's been designing and developing beautiful fabrics for GU since 2013. Last year in Milan, we showed her Redal stitched. And in between new developments, special projects, she collaborates with Mule Van Tol, and they have recolored some of our best-selling designs, Amdal, Bardal, Heidal, and Gandal. But we're here to talk about the inspiration, the process, and the vision of Redal. And before we do that, we'd like to show you a short film to give you the feeling of Redal. So here we go.
Det liksom det der konstante med naturen der. Kanskje når vi tar litt for gitt som rundt oss, og som jeg tror betyr så utrolig mye for alle. Vi responderer på årstidene. Det egne farger for høsten. For min egen del så det forandringene som jeg synes vakrest. Det våren og høsten, for da skjer det så veldig mye. Da kommer liksom lag på lag med farger frem. Og det kanskje litt av de lagene vi prøver å vise i Redal. Trekke den naturfølelsen inn i hjemmet, eller inn på kontoret, eller inn på møbelet i hvert fall. Redal jo egentlig en studie i fargesammensetning, og det å forsøke å finne harmoniske fargeblandinger. Alle disse her tonene som jeg finner der ute i naturen, og som jeg synes så vakre, de kunne jo på en måte gjenskape med å liksom leke med andre ting som jeg glad i, sånn som garn og farger i garn. Og det å jobbe med et ullmateriale som også kommer fra naturen, og de fargene som da kan oversettes fra naturen over på dette materialet, det skaper jo en helhet som egentlig helt unik da. Det jo lett å se på veving, sånn som vi gjør på fabrikken, som veldig maskinelt. Men det først og fremst et håndverk, der vi foredler vakre materialer. Når man første gang ser de vevstolene, hvordan det vokser frem og blir til et stoff, det noe magisk ved det, hvordan fargene blandes sammen. Det veldig spesielt. Redal varme og mykhet. Det ull, glede over rikhet i materialet. Det kvalitet.
It was a moody day in the Norwegian mountains. And you reference nature several times. Can you tell us a little bit about how nature inspires your work?
Yes, I mean, we're here in Lillehammer, and this is where our mill is situated. And it's also the entry gate to the Gudbrandsdal Valley. So it's a large valley that stretches north in Norway. And it has a certain and beautiful nature. And it's also, Lillehammer is also known for its light. It's attracted artists up through the years, and authors came here to write. So it's quite a beautiful place. And also what's special about Gudbrandsdalen is that the seasons are very distinctive here.
Oh, yes.
So you have these icy cold winters, you have this incredibly changing of colors in the valleys, and the spring is also how it kind of transforms the whole look of the place. Is incredible. And you have mountain ranges here, and you have how the farmland meets the lakes. So there's plenty of inspiration to take, I think, from nature around here. And so it's a good starting point, I suppose. And we who live here, we spend a lot of time in this landscape, I think, and we get time to observe and really look at the details that you find in nature. What we wanted was a new fabric with a multicolor and the filtered color and color harmony. So
And this connection to nature, it continues with the names of the colors: Brilliant Fjord and Mountain Pass and Sunny Field. Tell us why you chose to give the colors names.
Well, we chose to name the fabrics in order to create these associations and to also to create a mood around the fabrics, I suppose, and to describe nature through, or describe the fabrics through the inspiration and what we found in nature that inspired the color. And so I think it reflects a very natural color palette.
Yeah, and Brilliant Fjord.
Brilliant Fjord, yeah. So you have if you go to the west coast, you have these incredible fjords. So if you stand on the top of a mountain, for instance, and you look down on these fjord arms, you see the melting water from the glaciers come down, and it has this opaque, almost milky turquoise color, mixing with this deep kind of ocean turquoise color of this the fjord. And then you see this incredible mix of colors there. And you have colors like mountain pass. We have going to the west coast from here, you have to go over quite a dramatic mountain range, for instance, and then you see how the kind of the brown kind of colors of the mountain meet with the clouds, and is there some pretty kind of painterly and beautiful scenes that you can find, and that has inspired the names as well.
Yeah. And so you get this idea, you have this inspiration. What's next? How do you go from an idea to a finished fabric?
Well, the next step is to look. Well, we had this incredible color inspiration, and then we looked at translating this expression into, I mean, what we have in our toolbox is yarns and structures and that sort of thing. So it's about, we spin yarns here at the mill ourselves. They're very unique and special, and we can dye them in any color we like. So we have this, it's a very good toolbox to work with. And we worked with Mela Fantol with these colors to create this multicolor. And we wanted the multicolor to come through the twisting of yarns. So you take 3 different colors.
Maybe you can show us,
We have some colors here just to exemplify.
Yep, that helps.
So you have these 3 colors. And they have to harmonize quite well in order not to get a fabric that is very vivid, or kind of you get this kind of, you can almost get some psychedelic patterns if you're not careful. So it's a color study, I would say, in how to harmonize colors with each other. That 2 of the tones in there need to be relatively similar in color, and then the third has to be the same kind of weight, but it also has to play along with the warp.
Okay.
So the weft is multicolor, so 3 colors together, but then you have the warp, which is here in the mill. We make our own melanges. So you make gray melanges. So we mix the white fiber with the black fiber, and then you mix a certain kind of amounts of these. So you can go from a very light melange to a mid melange, and then you have the very dark, almost charcoaly melanges. So these are very unique to our mill, and they're spun and twisted. And this is the pre-yarn that you have here, just to show you kind of some of the process.
Yeah.
And so the warp yarns, you can say they represent maybe the shading that you might find in nature, you could say, and how it mixes with the weft colors. And it's important also that there's not only balance in the weft color, but also that there's balance between the weft and the warp color in order to create this beautiful
It sounds complex and technical, and I think some of you out there might not be textile engineers. Ragnhild, can you explain, the warp and the weft?
Yes, the warp is the thread system that runs through the loom. So it's a vertical system of threads that run parallel through a loom. And then you have the weft, which is the system of threads that are shot through the weft. So you open and close or you lift and sink the warp threads, and then you put in the weft there, and through different structures you get this. And and Redal is a plain weave, so it's kind of the simplest structure you can have. But I think the combination of the melange yarn and the multicolor weft makes it a very interesting fabric, where you really get to see the quality of both the yarns and the structure. It really gets to shine, I think, in this fabric.
No, it's complex, but it's a beautiful fabric. But as everyone knows, there are a lot of choices in fabrics. What makes Redal special?
I think it's crafted here in Gudbrandsdalens Uldvarefabrik. So so many hands have made this product, I think, from the spinning of the yarn, the dyeing, the weaving, and the finishing. So that makes it unique in that sense. But it's also made from wool and viscose, that are natural materials. And I can show you here. Wool is, of course, a natural material, and it's also a very exclusive raw material. Only 0.9% of the global fiber production is wool.
Wow.
So we're really dealing with some very, very exclusive stuff here. And it's also 60% of the wool that we source come from Norway now.
Oh, nice, locally.
So it's a locally sourced raw material. And it's very important for us that we have the best raw material in order to get a really nice fabric, like the best fabrics coming out of a really good starting point.
Yeah.
So the wool is, essential to our quality.
Yes, raw materials are always important.
That's very important, yes. And then, of course, there is a strong focus on sustainability these days, of course. And I think for us, that means we make a lot of, we want our products to have a very long lifetime. So it's very important that we make robust and strong fabrics that remain good looking and timeless. So that's a very important factor, I think, when it comes to sustainability, that you make things that last for a very long time. And Redal has the EU flower, so it also has the certificates when it comes to environmental standards. And wool. And you also have wool has so many good properties. It is naturally flame retardant, and it's also passed a very strict fire test called Crib 5, which is one of the strictest. Yeah. And it's
easy
nice
to maintain.
It's easy to maintain. Nice to be around. Yeah, it's cozy.
Yeah.
But it's strong and robust, and I think what we have is a richness of material and color, and I think the combination of that is
makes it stand out.
It makes it stand out, I think. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that you put some things on the table here. You brought the outside, inside, and now you've talked about the inspiration and the design process and the quality of Redal. And here you have the 10 lovely colors. Could you tell us where you see Redal being used commercially?
As you see, it's not a very big palette, but I think we covered quite a lot of the warm and the cooler colors. We both have the neutrals and the more vivid ones, like the thunderstorm. But we see this as a fabric that can be used both in a homely and warm kind of setting, but also in offices. I think it has the strength and resilience to withstand very kind of heavy use, if you can say that.
Yeah, I didn't even ask you about the martindale. Everybody talks about that, but
it's 110,000. So I think it really can cope with a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's a strong fabric. But you also see that there's a merging of the home or home and office segment. And especially now in these days, you would say it's, we all know how that is these days. So I think it fits very well there. And hotels could be hospitality. Yeah. Could also be an expedition ship in Antarctica.
Yes, so it would be cozy to come inside. Yeah. Well, nice. Thank you very much, Ragnhild, and thank you all for joining us. We don't have time for questions, but if you have something you'd like to ask us, just email us at gu@gu.no. or you can reach out to me directly. My contact information is on the website. We've also put all the technical information about Redal on the website. So 2020 is soon over. We wish you all a healthy and happy holiday and hope to hear from you. Bye.